Hello there.
General Kenobi.
Clearly, we went to Disney World in Florida. Well, specifically Hollywood Studios, though.
Should you take your family there too? Stay tuned to find out.
Hello, and welcome to Couple Chat.
Where we
Parents.
discuss topics for you.
Parents. I'm Matt.
I'm Jackie. Let's chat.
So, spring break, we went to Florida with aspirations of enjoying ourselves at Hollywood Studios specifically. I was being a little selfish about it because I wanted to go to Galaxy's Edge. I've never been before. We've never been before. Jackie got to go to Universal for her 30th. Mm-hmm. And when did Galaxy's Edge open?
It was like your birthday that same year.
Right.
That was opening week.
Yeah.
But, I mean, talk about line queues. These waits were nothing compared to opening day.
Yeah.
Opening year. So Galaxy's Edge just really wasn't an option for your 30th at that point.
Right. Which is funny because looking back at it now, it's it's all relative. We probably should have just spent the money and went anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Without children.
Yeah. So that's why we're here, really, right? We're here to tell you guys our experience of going there with two toddlers, a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old, and tell you if it's worth it. Jackie, what do you think?
No. Honestly, It's one of those things. Maybe if it wasn't spring break, maybe we could try it again some other time of the year. Everyone we spoke to who was a local or a pass holder while we were there or with my friends, they all said, yeah, spring break. What are you, nuts? Apparently so.
We knew it was a bad sign when her best friend, who her and her family have season passes, we were like, hey, we'll go to the parks together. And then she told us, oh, we can't.
We're blacked out.
Yeah. So we should have known them having a blackout period means we should not come down there.
We should not be in any way, shape, or form anywhere near the parks.
Yeah.
But who are we?
Mm-hmm. Well, we did it, so.
We did.
Look, I mean, ultimately, there was some good, a lot of bad. Looking back at it now, I don't blame the kids at all, but man, emotions were very high that day and when we went to Universal, which we'll talk about in the next episode. But it was a lot. It wasn't that hot out. I was going to say it was hot out, but it really wasn't that bad.
So what's funny is the Disney day was hotter than the Universal day.
That's weird.
Temperature-wise.
Yeah.
Disney was 90 degrees at the
Disney
peak
day?
at Disney.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember it being that hot or feeling that hot.
Disney felt because we were enclosed in this Hollywood studio space where we were, especially in Galaxy's Edge, I feel like it was very... all the buildings were tall and there were lots of shadows. So you could kind of chill in the shade and not feel as oh gosh, the sun is beating down on me. And,
right.
And the line queues too were usually enclosed or covered. So that kind of helped with the heat, I felt. Just because of the fact too, well, whenever you'd see a character, they'd be in a air conditioned space or there'd be a fan or it wouldn't be as out in the open and in the sun there, or it wasn't rather. I think that's really what helped with the heat, and we had lots of hydration. My number one recommendation, if you go to any amusement park or any hot area, just hydrate. You know how many people we saw? There was one lady who was put in a wheelchair with oxygen because she
forgot that happened.
Passed out on one of the lines.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there was a stretcher and everything. And the cast members were really good about it and got her, feeling better. But it's just one of those things. Hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. There's water fountains everywhere. All the restaurants have two giant water jugs that they're always refilling.
They also have not just water fountains, but the parks have water stations now to refill actual, water bottles, because we live in a day and age where everybody carries different types of like, Stanley type cups and whatever. So they have stations where you can fill those up. So like, don't worry about like buying water at a theme park anymore, which is a really good thing because you could spend a lot of money just buying water for a family, so you don't have to worry about that anymore. Bring your water cups that you usually use, or if you have ones you use on vacation, and fill them up while you're there. You're going to save a ton of money just by doing that alone, and you're going to keep yourself hydrated.
There were some people that I saw that have those collapsible water bottles. I don't know if you saw it, but it's like an accordion.
That's cool.
It comes in this big, with a little like screw top, and then it expands to as big as Nathan's size. So Nathan has a 20-ounce water bottle.
That's awesome.
So I saw people just and filling that up. It doesn't even take up space. You put it in your bag, and then when you get in the park, you go to the first fill station. You're using that all day. You flatten it for when you leave, and you throw it back in your bag.
I love that because water bottles that's the one thing is like they're kind of a pain in the butt to walk around with, especially like when you're doing something for a whole day. And especially her and I, we have these giant bottles. It's insane, but it's like a Stanley, but
bigger. Because mine does 50 ounces.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Yeah, but that was a lifesaver. And I mean, no matter how much hydration we had, the day was still quite annoying. And it really, it all boils down to the waiting. It's the waiting. The parks are phenomenal. Hollywood Studios was very clean, which was amazing. And the moment I walked into Galaxy's Edge, I was blown away. I can't stand the sequels, and it does irk me that this area does focus on them. But honestly, it's still amazing, and they did a great job. It is a true theme park, I love that. That's what I go to theme parks for. I'm not a big ride person. So I don't want to go to a theme park to ride roller coasters or get a thrill like that. My thrill is going to these places, experiencing these shops, hearing cast members, and that's what they call them at Disney, speak these characters and act like they're in this world. That stuff's cool. And I'm actually kind of upset because I told her about this, but I watched a whole video about the Galactic Star Cruiser, the Star Wars hotel that was way overpriced that Disney used to have. It closed because it wasn't profitable. But I watched family Flying the Nest. They have an amazing YouTube channel. Definitely check them out. But they travel everywhere. They started without kids, and now they have 2 kids. They're married, and they went and did the 2-night experience at Galactic Star Cruiser, and oh my god, I'm so happy that it was recorded in such a way because they showed you everything that this place had to offer, and it wasn't just the hotel. The hotel is connected right to Galaxy's Edge.
Wow.
So the way that it works is they give you missions while you're at the hotel, and you have a pad that you take around with you everywhere, and you can accept different missions. You could do different things. You wouldn't have seen it all.
Oh man.
And then they give you a mission to go down to the outpost.
Sure.
And you literally take a ship. You take a ship down to the outpost, and then all of a sudden you're in Galaxy's Edge, and you spend a day there, and you do whatever you do at Galaxy's Edge. And yeah, it's really cool. You have to watch the video. It's amazing.
That's cool.
I can't even describe how amazing it is. And this couple did an amazing job making a video all about that hotel. And I'm happy that I was able to experience it in that way. I was getting emotional watching this video, and I was like, wow, I can't believe this thing exists. Lo and behold, I didn't realize that they actually did close it. So that kind of sucked. But I'm hoping that Disney figures out another way to do something like that, an experience that is, more geared towards a mass audience and
cost effective.
Yeah. But granted, if you are somebody who did get to do that, oh God, I'd love to talk to you about it because, man, everybody would have had a different experience there. It's really cool. But
that's awesome.
But yeah, I just wanted to mention that because we're talking Galaxy's Edge and Hollywood Studios, and since that place closed, it just sucks because it takes away honestly like half of the experience of what Galaxy's Edge has. Like if you stay at that hotel, it's like you're getting what they want, what Disney was planning, like this whole big like epic event basically that you could spend your vacation doing. So
nice.
Yeah.
That is sad. But it's also too like
we've never been able to afford it.
No way.
It was insane. Like 2-night stay, I think it was like over $5,000, So I'm sure it came with the park passes, but still.
Yeah.
It's craziness.
That is. Speaking of cost.
Yeah.
I think overall we could have spent a lot more.
Yes.
If we stayed on Disney property, which we did not. If we had gone more days, which we did not. I heard too that it was so busy that week that one day they closed Magic Kingdom.
What?
They were at capacity.
Like they closed it to people continuing
Correct.
to come in.
No one else was allowed into the parks.
See, I was wondering that while we were buying tickets. So I waited a long time to actually get our tickets for the day because we weren't sure what the weather was going to look like. We didn't want to get rained out. And also we wanted to see what we were doing with her friends. And I was like, let's wait. Let's wait until the last possible second. Hopefully there's no issues. And there wasn't. They never said, out of tickets or anything. Like, I think I bought them the day before.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. So it's like, that to me is crazy. There should be a capacity.
There is, but
yeah,
how many people, I don't know the exact number.
Yeah.
But I also heard that someone saw a lot of trash at the one park that they visited. And
Sucks.
I think it's strange. Like you said, it was very clean.
Yeah.
Like the maintenance was always around. There was always people sweeping, moving garbages. Like it never felt like anything was ever like overflowing or anything like that. I mean, it's very interesting. But speaking of cost, so yes, you said we bought our tickets the day before. For a family of 3, because Emma is under the age that is required to pay.
Yeah.
3.
You guys have until 3. So that's the thing. If you want to go there, you're a family of 1 and you have an under 3-year-old and they're good with sitting in a stroller and they can go to the park, that's fine. I think that's fine. You can either do very little or wait until they're like 10 plus, I feel.
Yeah. I feel like the ages that they were now. I mean, I wish that they knew more about Disney.
Right.
Or even like for Hollywood Studios, it's more Disney Junior geared. So maybe if they had watched like more Disney Junior stuff, like Doc McStuffins, Vampirina, but
they still had a good time with that though.
Yeah, but it's not something that we really do or watch or see often enough for them to really recognize it.
Yeah, but I didn't want to interrupt you. I was just adding to the what you were going to say about the tickets.
Yeah. So yes, if you're a family, if you're a couple and you have a young one, they are free up until the age of 3. A youngling. Oh my gosh, I missed the boat there. So we, as a family of 3, we spent a little over $500, and that's that's one day, no park hopper.
Nope.
And that is as of April 2024. So whenever you're listening to this, I don't know what your pricing will be in the future, but that was that was a number to behold.
Yeah.
And that was not including like anything else. That wasn't including the shuttle. That wasn't including.
We didn't do Lightning Lane.
That wasn't including food. That was just to get in through the gate.
Just to walk into the park.
Right.
And wait for 2+ hours on lines, mostly to see characters.
That's what really frustrated me. You're spending, and we didn't spend nearly as much as some people we spoke with on the lines, but you're spending all this money and just to stand on a line. And I get it. It was spring break. It was bad on us. But like, I have to stand on a line to go see Minnie Mouse.
Yeah. Like,
Emma could not handle that line. Nate could not handle that line. And it just kept progressively getting worse and worse and worse. Like,
and again, from now being at a perspective where we've been out of it for, a week. Mm-hmm. It's been a week since we left, like Sunday was, we were back home by Saturday night, right? And it's just like, I look at it now and I'm like, yeah, no wonder they were the worst because it sucks.
Yeah.
Like, I hate waiting on lines. And, you know, like, we only have patience because we've been doing it for 30 years, you know, like.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And I mean, I totally get it. They had a rough time. Some things that we had with us on the line, for the character line, we had most of our stuff. We were able to still have our diaper bag, which we still carry because Emma is in pull-ups.
Right.
You know, that helped certain times where we would have like a snack here, a snack there. And
we fended away from having their tablets. You know, like, yes, we had them with us, but we really brought them because we drove for 16 hours. Mm-hmm. So we only wanted them to really have them during the drive, if need be. We even like strayed away from them using them on the trip that much. Yeah. I think like ultimately they might have used them for, I don't know,
3 or 4 hours total
though. Yeah. Like a couple hours to and from, you know? And yeah, we just didn't want to have them at the parks. I didn't want them to be those kids that were sitting online just, you know, brainlessly on their tablets. I mean, granted, we did get to a point where you gave Nate your phone. Yeah. But I think they have like an app or something to go along with the wait.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
So they have a, I think it's called Park Play or something like that, where it's actually specific to the park you're in, where you can show them like your location, what ride you're on, and there's like specific games for that ride you're on.
So that's kind of cool, I guess.
Yeah, and then depending on the park, you can play all of them, or you can play half of them, or really depending on like where you are on the map, they can tell they need your location for you to play it. But what was really cool is you can play as a group. Mm-hmm. So it's not necessarily just Nate staring at a screen. Yeah. He did part of it. I did part of it. Like we went back and forth.
That's cool.
Which was fun. But yeah, I didn't figure that out until the final ride.
Slinky.
The final the final queue we had to ride on, which was 140 minutes.
No,
120 minutes.
No, it was 90 minutes when you guys went.
Oh, it was 90 minutes, right. Because that was the last ride. That was like 7 o'clock.
I was blown away because we decided to divide and conquer at that point. We knew we weren't going to be able to hit all the rides we wanted.
Right. I think, though, that once they got through the queue, they really enjoyed their time. Like,
oh, yeah.
It's so funny because, like, all Emma could talk about all week was, I met Minnie.
Yeah.
Like, and she... Guys, she literally will call anything with the mouse's ears Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
Does that matter?
It's so funny.
It's so weird.
Yeah.
And she has a lot of Minnie Mouse stuff, and I always have to correct her. But once she met Minnie Mouse, she looked in and she goes, Mickey Mouse? And I was like, Minnie Mouse. And she goes, Minnie. And that was it. She was just...
Yeah.
Every time since, she has been happy-go-lucky, Minnie. And it was really sweet. And I think that was my favorite moment of the whole thing for Emma because every character we met, she was cowering in fear. Yeah. No, I don't want to meet this character, you know, in her so many words as a 2-year-old.
I did this on purpose, but I was happy we did. We met Darth Vader.
Yes, we did.
And Nate loved it. Nate has no fear. He was awesome the whole time when it came to actually getting through the lines. But Emma didn't want anything to do with him.
Mm-mm. She wouldn't even look in his direction. Nope. You'll see pictures. She's literally looking this way like everyone else is, oh, Darth Vader, no. It's great.
It is funny.
Yeah. But I think that moment for me with Emma was like my favorite because not only did she finally like realize who Minnie was and kind of register it after that, but Minnie was the only character she went right up to.
Yeah.
Like she did not have to be coaxed. She did not have to be held.
Right.
And Minnie Mouse sat on the ground and Emma like went up to her and like sat next to her and then held her hand.
Yeah.
And then when we were leaving, Minnie Mouse went up to her and like gave her nose and Emma kissed her nose. And it was just like, so sweet. And like, this is why people go when their kids are young. It has nothing to do with the kid. It has to do with the parents and their memories.
100%.
Because like I don't think we'd have that memory if they were older.
No, it would definitely not be the same way. But, you have to look at it this way, too. And yes, it's still more for the parents, but we get to show them that when they're older. Like, Emma's not going to remember it. But you know what? It's one of those things where, like, now as a parent, I get it. Because that's a core memory. Inside Out, Pixar, Disney reference there, 7 Degrees of Disney now, not Kevin Bacon.
Right.
But, it's a core memory. Like, whether she can talk about it when she's older or not, it's subconsciously built into her, and she'll she's just, oh yeah, I'm a fan of Minnie. Mm-hmm. Like, she could be a fan of Minnie her whole life, we don't even know, but it's like, oh yeah, I'm a fan of Minnie. Oh, when did you become a fan of Minnie? I don't know, and like, we don't even really know. Sometimes she watched the show, but like, that was the moment that, like, oh, she's definitely a fan of Minnie now.
Yeah.
And it's funny that sorry, Nate from the future, or Nate, who is gonna watch this at some point. He does like watching and listening to Couple Chat. It's pretty cute, actually. Yeah. I'll get in the car and I'll be listening to it when I pick him up from school, and he's like, "It's your Couple Chat," and I'm like, "Yeah." We came down here and took pictures today. He's like, "This is where you do Couple Chat," so he's starting to get it.
So smart.
But sorry, Nate. One of my favorite moments was also an Emma related thing. Her and I went on Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railroad. And we had to do it by ourselves because they were on Slinky Dog and we had to just divide our time. And her and I went there, and it was great. She was the calmest she was, because like, Nate wasn't there and she wasn't fooling around as much. She did a little bit on that line, but not as much. And then I don't know, she just had a good time on that ride. It was fun. It was the first ride she really got to go on. We did Toy Story Mania, but
She was sitting in the carrier. I brought the carrier. Yeah. We brought her umbrella type stroller. So we have this like hard shell base carrier that I forced Matt to take, and aren't we happy we had it?
Yeah,
because we only had one seat in that stroller. Yeah. It wasn't a double.
I had her on my shoulders a few times throughout the day, and she does this weird thing. She like rubs my head and my hair. And like, it's funny at first, but like, by the end of the day, my hair is a mess. And then she'll pull on it too. Like, what are you doing up there? So
the one video you took, she's eating it.
Oh,
she's literally,
yeah.
Like, so, what?
I don't know. But I didn't use the carrier really. Jackie did. But no, I mean, it was fine. Yeah. So, overall, I mean, they did both have a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. The line sucked, and that really, it just, that's the hard part. If you could get through that stuff, you're fine. But you need to wait till your kids are older for that part, because they need to grow patience and understand that we wait for fun things, unfortunately, know.
Or if your child is content just sitting around on a line and moving inch by inch over like who knows how long.
Like a month before, what we should do? We should set up our living room, and it's like, okay, guys, we have to wait online to get to the TV today. We have to wait online to go outside.
Oh my gosh. 90 minutes of that though? That's a lot.
Yeah, but that's
yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, that's
and we put stuffies in front of us.
We can't cut the line. You gotta leave Minnie Mouse in their spot.
Yeah.
But it's just funny because now that we have Mickey Mouse puppets, they could be in line, and we could even be like, "Oh, how long have you been here?" "Oh, we've been here." And like,
right. That's funny.
Just make small talk on the line, because that's the only entertainment we had, was the small talk of people in front or behind us.
Yeah,
and some of the people were really nice. They had older kids, so they were like, "Oh, I remember those days," and it's like, can we? Is it gonna get better?
Yeah, no.
Tell us. It didn't. Yeah. Or it doesn't. But then there's, the people in the line who have other kids. So It was nice to like, just be like, oh, okay, there's another kid that's 3 or 4 or 2. Like, oh, the 3 of them can just chill, and that worked out. So I feel like if my friends could have been there, it would have been a very similar situation, but at least we would have had more
adults,
of a familiar adult that we can like just shoot the stuff with. But overall, I think it was fine. It was just like there were so many things that just kept compounding that like made the trip really stressful and a lot. And but I would never, ever, ever go during spring break again.
No.
If you are Disney fans and your children are Disney fans, yeah, definitely give it a go once at least for the reactions. Like I said, we gave our favorite memories. Like that's really why we kind of wanted to go. And Galaxy's Edge, of course, for Matt, because that was something that he missed out on back when he turned 30.
It's still, again, like the good part is in between the chaos, we got great photos and videos, and like they were genuine moments. It's not like we were faking anything.
No.
Like everything was genuine. It's maybe a fake thing here or there. We do shoot skits and stuff like that, but most of it was like, wow, we're actually just enjoying ourselves in these moments. So those are the things we're going to remember. Those are the things that we're going to talk about, and we're going to, oh man, you remember when Nate saw the Cars show and you guys ran in, you were a little late, but you got in there.
And it was the last thing we did for the night. Yeah. And like Nate loved it.
Yeah. Not the ferry that we took to Epcot and had to come back because, that's a story.
Yeah. So if your hotel offers a shuttle to Disney and back, just make sure where the shuttle picks you up.
Yeah.
Because if you try to take a boat from Hollywood Studios to Epcot, it comes in the backside of Epcot where you need to have an admission ticket to go through.
Yeah.
We didn't know that. So we had to get an Uber. Oh, wait, no. We had to get a boat, stay on the boat from Epcot and go all the way back to Boardwalk Hotel. Just
Very
to
nice
order
area.
an Uber.
It was so lovely.
It was fun.
So lovely.
And you can't do a minivan if you're not on Disney property.
Yeah. Minivans, we saw them all around, and they both were like, oh, look, it's Minnie's car, guys. Look, wow. They were very excited about it. But yeah, you can't take it unless you're at a Disney resort. I don't know. Maybe we'll look at staying on a Disney property one time in our life at least to see how it is.
Yeah.
But like, who knows? But yeah. The only other thing that I'd say that we didn't really get to cover was food and how the food experience was.
Yeah.
If you want to talk a little bit about that before we wrap up.
Sure. We had Joffrey's in the morning for breakfast.
Not soon enough.
Not soon enough. It was at 11 because, we got to the shuttle line at 8:30 when we were told to. Got on the shuttle at 9, and then they picked up 4 other resorts worth of guests. And then brought us to the bus port. And then we had to walk. So we walked all the way to Toy Story Land.
Yeah.
And then we're like, hey, there's a coffee thing. Coffee.
Yeah. Good coffee.
Very good. But they had these giant donuts. They were huge. They were as big as a hat,
As big as a hat.
The Mickey ear hat. And I mean, Nate devoured his. He only had a sliver left, and I had a bite of it, and it was just so good. Well, Emma ate about a sliver of it and then dropped it on the ground. And that was the most expensive donut I've ever bought in my life.
We went to Everglazed in Disney Springs, and I think that
we bought a cold brew with that donut. That doesn't count. And that donut was a regular, like, bougie, like, specialty donut. No, this was just a strawberry glazed with sprinkle donut.
Yeah.
And it was huge. Fine. We weren't even into Toy Story Land. We were into Toy Story Land maybe by like a couple 100 feet, and it went down her lap, rolled on the ground, and under the stroller. And I picked it up, and I had this glimmer in my eye, and Matt goes, there's a lot of feet on this ground. And I'm like, oh, okay. I threw it away.
Yeah.
Little did I know, folks, if your child drops their food that they just bought, or spills their drink, or their popcorn, or whatever thing you may have just purchased for them, cast members will replace it. Don't hesitate to ask. If I had known that, I would have gone back to Joffrey's and gotten myself, for my daughter, another pink donut.
Right, for your daughter.
Right. No, I would have taken as many bites and been like, look, Emma, it's the same one you had before. What do you mean? I'm not chewing it. If I had known that. And we only found out later in the day when we had mentioned it to a cast member just walking by or waiting on a queue or something. Don't even remember how. But she was like, oh, well, if that was with me, like if I had seen that, I would have replaced it for you. And I was like, huh? And she was like, yeah, all you had to do was ask.
Oh, okay.
What? All I had to do was ask?
Yeah.
Now I know.
Let me hold on to this dirty donut for a while.
5 hours later, because that's when we talked to that cast member.
We dropped this donut.
Joffrey's is closed, ma'am. The park is closing in 2 minutes.
Right. Give me my donut. Yeah. So then we traveled over the Galaxy's Edge and we ate lunch there. Mm-hmm. That was honestly the most lackluster experience we had at the park when it came to food. Yeah. I thought. Mm-hmm. I mean, what we ate, I thought was good. Yeah. But it was, I don't know. It was okay. We went to Docking Bay, I think 17 is what they call it.
Docking Bay 7.
Is it? Mm-hmm. Okay.
And the kids wanted nothing to do with it. Emma ate the skin, like the breading off the chicken. Yeah. But they didn't want the macaroni.
Yeah. It just...
And broccoli.
Like, come on, man.
A giant fistful of broccoli. Like, who gives broccoli to a child?
And nothing. Not a thing on it. Like, there wasn't even salt on the broccoli. And that's not great either. Mm-hmm. But, like, nothing. It was just plain steamed broccoli. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
For a kid's meal.
Yeah.
At a park.
Yep. Very lackluster experience when it came to that. I do wish we wound up going somewhere else. But, you know, me... thinking like, oh, I want to experience Galaxy's Edge. And I figured we go and we eat lunch there because I would like to try what a Star Wars meal would look like. And then so this was my shining moment as a father. But we had a reservation at Woody's Roundup.
Oh my God. When I tell you how excited I was, literally the night before, I'm like sitting there and I'm just like, woe is us. We're not, and I didn't even say anything out loud. I was just like, we're not going to have a reservation. We're not going to have dinner plans. We're going to have to walk up to a place and get some crummy food. Like, I just really wish we could get into like one of these cool restaurants like Woody's Roundup. Not even 10 minutes later, he texted me and he says, OMG, I got this thing. And I literally just like, oh my God, this is amazing. Like, I was so excited. Yeah. I literally jumped for joy.
Yeah. We watched a reel like maybe a few months ago about Woody's Roundup because from our understanding, her friend said it's pretty new. Mm-hmm. So I saw a reel the other, like I said, a few months ago. And I was like, Jackie, check this out. They have a restaurant at Disney that like you like freeze as a toy. And I don't know. It was... So what's funny is the food was fantastic. I loved every bit of it. You enjoyed it. I mean, we had our kid issues, but like...
Yeah, but it's funny. Like, it reminded me of Dinosaur Barbecue where you get like the feast, basically, but it's unlimited. Like, you can refill it as many times as you want, which is amazing. But all they ate was... They gave you like an appetizer of watermelon.
Oh yeah.
That's all they ate. And like Emma had some of the, what was it?
Brisket? They were eating
she had a little bit of brisket. He had a little bit, but she had some of the mac and cheese and he wanted nothing to do with it. All I ate was mac and cheese and brisket.
Okay, so it was a terrible experience.
No, it was great. The brisket was delicious. The mac and cheese had goldfish crumble crust.
Did it?
It did. It was goldfish crackers on top. Right. It was so good.
It was good.
It was very good. And the watermelon was good too.
But to be honest, so I was a bit disappointed though. The theme there is fine and everybody's very nice and really great at their jobs. But the theme's kind of like just it's not that great.
There's no characters walking around. Nope. I thought there would have been at least Woody and Jesse and Buzz.
I didn't like that. Yeah. And then all it is over the loudspeaker, you know, they have pre-recorded audio where it's like, guys, freeze, Andy's coming. And then you freeze. Everybody freezes in the restaurant, which the freezing part's cool because everybody does it, but it loses its luster after you do it once because it's like, there's nothing going on except they just say it over the speakers and it's pre-recorded. Like, it's just, I wish there was more to it.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. Like,
Same.
These restaurants are not cheap at Disney, and it's hard to get a reservation. Again, like, just they should have had characters.
Yeah.
Definitely. They should have had, like, even if it was just like a 15-minute block during each hour that they sent out, like, Woody and Buzz, that would have been great. You know, you got a reservation at a restaurant. That's a big deal at Disney. You know, you should have had that.
Yeah.
Because isn't there a restaurant in Magic Kingdom that's like you eat with all the characters or something like that? Yeah.
It's like the most booked up. Like, you need to reserve it 6 months out, or you can't. No, it's 60 days, because that's the furthest out you can go. You need to reserve it 60 days out, or you will not have a time.
Yeah.
And, like, people will reserve multiple places and then cancel. That's really how we got ours.
Yeah.
Because they only have 24 hours before the reservation to cancel. And that's what they did. But, like, that experience is one in a lifetime. And that I would definitely do probably when they were older, just because they'd enjoy it now, but, like, Emma being afraid of costume characters, I didn't know if she'd actually really enjoy it. Yeah. And we didn't go to Magic Kingdom, so maybe in the future, but yeah.
But yeah, so food, it was hit or miss. Yeah. I mean, there were some great parts about it, and there were some not. And, you know, if there's anybody watching this and you want to give us a little more pointers and you know, about Galaxy's Edge specifically, like, I did want to try this one restaurant, and man, I was so mad because we were talking to one of the cast members there, and we were like, oh, this place has breakfast. Yeah. It was like 11:30, and we were like, wow, you know, her and I only had the coffee at Joffrey's. We were like, oh, these look cool. They're like wraps, but it's like pitas with like eggs and bacon and stuff. We were like, let's get these. This would be great. And she was like, oh, I'm sorry, we stopped serving breakfast at 11. And I was like, all right.
That's the cast member that I talked to about the donut.
Oh, well, there you go.
Because I was like, oh, well, my daughter threw the donut on the ground. So that was all we ate so far. Yeah. So I guess we're doing lunch. But it's just.
But yeah, so if you've been to Galaxy's Edge or you have some pointers on Disney in general, we, you know, just like we talk about our experiences, we'd love to hear you guys too. So.
Yeah, so please comment. You can even chat us or direct message us, and we'd be happy to have an open forum and just chat away.
Yeah. But yeah, so that was mostly our experience at Hollywood Studios. You know, we go on for hours about this, but ultimately, long lines, spring break, terrible idea.
Never again.
So. But yeah. We did have a fun trip though. You know, I mean, we have a lot of memories, and I'm eagerly trying to put a video together. I would like to start putting vlogs together again. That was something we did during the pandemic. You know, if you've followed us since the beginning of when we really started to do Here Are the Hahns, you know, we were doing full-length skits, vlogging, and couple chat. And, you know, we both had the time to do it because, you know,
COVID.
Yeah. And it was great and it was fun and we were doing a lot of stuff. And now we do couple chat. We try and sneak it in there every once in a while. And we shoot so many reels and they just sit on my phone mostly. They just sit there. And I'm like, I'm going to do this. And I don't. So I will. Hopefully. Maybe. I don't know. I was gathering everything over the past like few years that I've been taking vertical content, and there's like over 1,000 videos. 1,000! I don't know if they're all useful, but yeah. So, and there's plenty from this trip that I'm like, this is a good reel. Let me do this. Or, oh, Jackie, let's do this thing, and we do it, and it never goes anywhere. So yeah.
Eventually.
Yeah, eventually. We'll get around to it. But that includes a vlog. I recorded a whole vlog about the whole vacation. You'll see it one day.
We appreciate your patience at this time since we are parents.
Yeah. Dude, dad, holderness.
How to dad.
How to dad. Well, we see you're tripping through. We know it. We love it.
What's the other dad? The one with
Fit Dad.
Fit Dad.
There's more of you out there, but like, guys, how the heck are you doing this, man?
How? And some of you have more kids than us, like double or triple more. And How?
Fit Dad, we're looking at you, man.
Yeah, Fit Dad.
And you just went to Disney too. And you told us, why did we do this?
Yeah, spring break.
Yeah.
Like what were we thinking?
I think you were there for way longer. Also, you went more days. We went one day and we wanted to rip our hair out. I don't know how you did it.
Yeah,
but yeah. Anyway, I'm Matt.
I'm Jackie.
Here are the Hahns signing out.
Thank you so much for listening to Couple Chat. Make sure to subscribe to us on Spotify or YouTube Music, and check out our YouTube page to see this episode in video. Thank you to Hahn Films for editing and producing this episode. Talk to you soon.